And so I want to just pick right up on this conversation about the Catholic roots of Groundhog Day, I guess, but particularly Candlemas and the prediction of winter. So just expound that for us a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, most people don't realize that it's not just this quirky American tradition or something that you see when you're watching the movie Groundhog Day, right? Which I actually show in my faith and film class. It actually has roots in the Catholic feast of Candlemas, or the Presentation of the Lord, which we celebrated yesterday, February 2nd, when, as you know, Simeon recognized Jesus as the light of the world. And typically on this day, Catholics, we bless candles to symbolize that light. And then over time, like especially in Europe, as I came to learn myself, I guess people had developed these weather proverbs, so to speak, around Candlemas in particular, to predict the arrival of spring. And when German immigrants came to America, they adapted it, I guess you could say, to local wildlife, right? Right. To a groundhog. In Germany, it was like the hedgehog. And so, what we now think of as a fun secular tradition, and I guess he did see a shadow yesterday from my understanding.
6 more weeks.
Actually points back to the sacred, right? Meaning like, faith often does shape our culture in ways that we don't expect.
Right. And so these even fun, frivolous things, like you mentioned, the European axiom that I read out earlier, if Candlemas Day be fair and bright, winter will have another flight. But that symbolism, like you mentioned, looking towards the shadow versus looking towards the light, all of these very natural things, the initial European immigrants wanted to continue to reiterate the presence of the gospel in these natural cycles and ebbs and flows of, in this case, the weather and the change of seasons.
Yeah, so, and I would say, like, this brings up kind of the importance of traditions, and how they matter. And, I mean, they ground us in something, right, deeper than just, like, the moment, whether it's, in this case, like a simple weather proverb or religious feast, more importantly, like Candlemas. They actually connect us to our past, our community, and as we've discussed in past episodes, and thank you again for having me,
very glad.
To eternal truths. They connect us to eternal truths. Like Christ is still the light of the world. Yep. And that's as relevant today, 2,000 years ago. And so just reflecting on something like the shadow of a groundhog can remind us of that.
Yep. And so even when you think about that cyclic repetitiveness of that movie, regardless of how you feel about it, the theme, however, is indicative of our own life. I know we're running out of time in the segment, but Ryan, thank you very, very much for making the time to speak with us.
Thank you for having me on again. I look forward to talking soon.
Yep, looking forward to it as well. My guest is Ryan Bilodeau. He is the author of this article, The Catholic Roots of Groundhog Day. He's a high school theology teacher and digital strategist. And we've been talking